Good day, Darnarian McCants. And you know what day it is? It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to get better. It's summertime. Just on a day of reflection, as I get and come closer and closer to my next revelation. Revelation. Yeah, we go around the sun, right? As I get closer to the day of me going back around this sun, and why this is so significant. So, quick story of a little boy from Baltimore City, Green Mountain, Preston, Edno Gardens, for the most part where I grew up, and then Ellicott City, and then I ended up in Shadow Oaks, which would be considered Columbia. I believe that's the first place in Columbia we moved. First to second grade. First grade, Mr. Bull. No, first grade was Mr. I know second grade was Miss Connor. Mr. Bruce. Mr. Bruce was my first grade teacher. Miss Connor was the second grade teacher, or something like that. So, Tabard Springs. So I was in the Oakland Mills area. After that, third grade, we moved to Running Brook, to Hannibal Grove, the Wilde Lake area. And went to Running Brook. There's a school that I see where the children are free. Everybody went to Running Brook should know that. At least definitely the first line. The anthem was taught to us, and you had to sing it every day. To a school where the teachers love me, to a school where the children are free, where we all love to be at Running Brook. I think it was Miss Hart or Miss Clark who came with that song. She's from Tennessee, country lady. But just reflecting on how I got here. I see people, I want to thank me. Yeah, I was a part of it, but there's a lot of people part of that process. Obviously my family, but really for the young men and the people of our neighborhood. Not too long ago had, I won't say a reunion, but a memorial, and a lot of people from the neighborhood came back. And it's just a nostalgia and remembering what you went through and who you went through it with. Just gave me a moment to reflect, because like I said, without those people, some situations I really wouldn't be here. I know JJ saved me one time from drowning, and Craig saved me one time from drowning. So I wasn't scared, but I don't think I was that bright either. So jumping in the water, can you swim? Yeah, just jump in. Yeah, and then somebody gonna come get me. But yeah, I can say JJ and Craig, if they don't get me out the water, I don't know if I'm still here. But just reflecting, man. And then of course, like I said, Wild Lake Middle, and then Wild Lake High. I was only there for my freshman year, but that third grade through that ninth grade year played a major factor, especially once I got to high school and watched the hierarchy of how the young men moved, at least from my perspective. I could say a lot of it stemmed from Doug Duval, who was the head football coach. And I take a lot of my philosophies from what I saw, my perception of the young men. I was more scared of DJ, Dwight, Craig, Big J than I was anybody else. And I don't mean like a fear like of, hey, but more of a fear of disappointing when you walked around with this on your chest. You couldn't wear another school in our school. If you came from Oakland Mills, they made sure, no wearing Oakland Mills or Wild Lake, no wearing Hammond, no wearing Howard. Those were the schools that pretty much reflected us, and that's who our competitors were. But living in the Grove and how the young men moved as we journeyed through life, and how they looked out for me. First time it snowed, first time whatever, we going up to the Running Brook and we gonna play football. And they might have been seniors, juniors in high school, but they allowed the third and fourth graders to come out there. They beat us up a little bit, but enough to make us tough and know that, look, if you want to play football at Wild Lake, you gotta be tough. And that being said, like I said, I think these gentlemen within 10 years won 6 state championships. So it was a pride that came along with it. It was a mindset that came along with it, and it was instilled. So through my journey, I always had this on my chest, always had this on my mind, that one, you ain't coming off the field, right? Because I think it was a 1A, 2 or 2A. We didn't know the difference at the time. Well, at least I didn't know the difference at the time. But you didn't come off the field. Like, the best players didn't come off the field. You get your squirt of water, time out, whatever, that's the only time you drink, and then you went out and balled. And that was my mindset for a long time. So I'm just sitting reflecting on the men and the young men who helped shape and develop me. I know they send me texts and saying how proud they are of me, and but it was them. It was y'all that said, all right, if you want to be a part of this is your mindset. This is how you have to work. I remember one time, I think I was the first time I get to practice. Like, I just found out that me and my best friend, neither one of us wanted to play football, but I thought he wanted to play football, and he thought I wanted to play football, so we both went out for the football team. And I was probably 5'8", 130 pounds if I weighed that much. And all the coaches, they were trying to put me in this 3-point position, and I was the first Donarian. So they was like, who? What's his name? Who the kid? What's the little skinny kid? And obviously they could see something in me that I didn't see in myself at the time. And they all trying to work on my 3-point stance. And coach was like, what's your name? I'm like, Donarian. And he's like, all right, we're going to call you Heavy D. So from that point, all the coaches called me Heavy D for that year. Now, like I said, I was only there my freshman year. And at the time, I think we only had JV and varsity. But those times and those moments, I will never forget. So as I get the grades popping, just to say thank you, just to say I'm humble and honored and grateful for the opportunities that was given, and the men that were around me. Coach Doug Duval, like I said, he's the head coach. I'm a freshman. He doesn't have to talk to me. He doesn't have to speak to me, but he understood how to run a program. If I don't know the best freshman, how can I develop that athlete into the best athlete? And then he chimed in through my career. Hey, I'm watching you. Hey, looking good. Knowing what I know now, if I'd have got a little bit more criticism, who knows? Might have been a little bit better. Might have did some things differently. But I think with my ability, they just had to polish it and make sure I stayed on the right path. Right? Shoot, I can even say some of the block boys in Baltimore kept me off the block. They're like, Nario, man, you ain't built for this show. Go home. I don't know how many of them still alive, but they got me off the block. Nah, this ain't for you. Go somewhere else. Now, grew up in the same neighborhood. Some of them was family, some of them was just neighborhood friends, whatever. But they kept me off the block because it didn't fit me. So, appreciate all that. I'm grateful for all of it. So, just a small reflection, man. Shout out to Wilde Lake. Always love. Shout out to everybody who's still kicking and breathing. Appreciate it. Thank you for this journey. I'm still here. I'm still kicking. Still strong. And now, I'm doing my part to do the same thing. Giving these kids a mindset that they have to be the best. That they have to keep working and try and try and try again. Giving up wasn't an option. Being scared wasn't an option. We had to go in because we was Wilde Lake. Couldn't nobody beat us. We was the best thing in the county. We champions. And that's a mindset. Being a champion is a mindset. And you can see it when you go to places where they don't understand what it is to be a champion. All right, I think I'm gonna shut it down after this. But appreciate it. Everybody from Hannibal Grove, the Wilde Lake area, all the coaches. Y'all still breathing, man. I hope y'all see this. I don't know if it's gonna be this long, but I'll try to chop it up so I can post some of it. And my headline's looking terrible. Woo! Old age, boy. You get ugly as you get older. But y'all be great.